Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Tuesday stream. How are folks today? Whew, had a busy right before stream. But how are folks? Hey, Jose. Hey, Sean. Hey, PF Dennis. Hey, Rod. Hey, Caleb. What else we have? Brian, Kenneth, Thunder Keys, Fixter Jake, Mr. Grinch. Who else? Anguisette. Welcome. Bloody. Hey, Shammy. Hey, Mike. Hey, JR. Redacted, Synthetic, John, Matthew, R. Chapman, all the folks. All the folks who, and some of you are up very late, and I appreciate it. Hey, Incendium and Steven, Craftsman, New Model Workshop, Dark for Eons, Skyrim, R3D, Addison, Majestic. How are folks? Hey, George. So, we are starting a new series today. So the idea here is we are going to update and modify my second Voron 2 that I built. So this is a 250 model, and it has not been in service for a good while now. So, hey, Tijen. Hey, Haddison and Dominic. I'll build car. I build car while Steve streams. Perfect. How you doing, Apollo? Hey, Ricky. Okay, 250 Voron 2. This is a self-source. I used an LDO green frame, a modified Mandela bed. I think I have an early Honey Badger X rail, but I think the rest of them are probably LDO. It is using the GE5C Z joints, which I'm not planning on making part of any modifications. I'm just going to leave those as they are. A lot of this I'm going to leave as it is. It's mostly a matter of installing a bunch of parts on it and getting it back into service. So, hey Joe. Hey Isaiah. Watching while working on my 2.4 Steve edition. Excited for the stream to see how the Nighthawk install goes. Awesome. Hey Caleb. Mr. Tiberium. Little Brat. The 250 is just sexy, but it's so money inefficient and compared to a 300. It's very much more space efficient for me though. The more small printers I have, the more printers I can fit. So, let me see. My music on my end is a little loud. Let me turn that down and touch. How's everything else? Everything else working okay? Let's see if I can see all of our... Why is that not showing? Just a moment. There we are. Gotta roll things around so I can see who we have here, how many likes we have. No beefy idlers. No, we're gonna stick with this stuff. I don't know what other things might happen mid-stream, mid-series, I should say. I reserve the right to modify my plans as we go along. So, my 2.4 has never been in service. You're the Bob Ross of 3D printer building. Okay, I'll take that. Hey, Jeff and Jeff. Jeff Squared and Nathan. Why was it taken out of service? Stolen parts are broken. So it was, this was my test bed for Revo Roto. So I had a beta version of Revo Roto. Just kind of getting things installed on a Voron and printing with it and stuff. So that's where it was here. And I took that off. I never got around to actually finishing getting it going. The Revo Roto mount I was using was not what's out there right now. It was I lost a bit of X travel. It was mostly just get it on here and print with it. So, yeah, it's a big micron. Hey, Brian. So anyway, it is something that I want to get back into service because it's a great printer and I need more of these going because I've had a couple of instances here in the last couple of weeks where I've gotten down to one printer and I've had to scramble to get little things fixed. And in the middle of printing parts for this and Milo and everything else, that's a bad idea to be down to one of this size printer. I have V0s I could throw stuff at, but I need something I can throw overnight prints at. So I got the Nighthawk and Tap to do on my 350. Awesome. Hey, Jermaine. So I think today is going to be a lot of unbuilding. So talking about plans and unbuilding. So let's talk about what the series of things we're going to do to this printer. And I guess let's talk about electronics. So right now, this actually has Duet 2 Wi-Fi and a Duex 5 controllers in it. It's a tight fit under there, you'll see. They are running Clipper. Those are controllers that I already had. Like I said, this was a self-source build. Those are what I had. I was using as much of what I had as I could. They were originally intended to go on my Hypercube Evolution. And I never used them. Well, I used them there, but then I reused them in here. The printer is down if only you had 20 others you could print on. Nero's really taking your hex trays. Awesome. I saw G2E in the thumbnail. Love that extruder. Yeah. So this one will be the first one I'm installing that has the injection molded gears. Everything I've installed before has the MJF gears. Want to build another V0 soon. Got to get my cert first. Nice. So anyway, this is, so electronics, it has those. I will be installing a retail version Leviathan. This is actually the first retail Leviathan I've received. The ones I'm running currently are various stages of pre-release. So the I have not, these come with a little USB cable. Hey Jason. Hey Losync. These come with a little ribbon, flat ribbon USB cable to connect the Pi and the Leviathan, and I don't have this. This is the first of these I have, so it's kind of neat. It's nice and compact. I'm using regular full-on USB cables on my other installs. Are you going to use a filament runout sensor in the G2E? I'm not planning on it. I'm not. I don't typically have filament runout issues. I'm pretty careful about checking to see if I have enough filament for the next job. So there are other bits and pieces. We'll get into more of the details of these packages once we get to that part of the install. But Leviathan, and then paired with the Nighthawk toolhead. Now you've seen me install this on the, it's over there, the switch wire build, the Charlie wire. So we will be going over it again. With Leviathan being CAN ready, can you plug the Nighthawk directly to it, or do you still need the adapter? Well, the Nighthawk is not CAN. The Leviathan is capable of doing a USB to CAN bridge mode, so you can run a CAN toolhead directly off of this, but Leviathan is USB connected. So we will be running Leviathan, and a first for me is I'm going to try out an umbilical setup on this instead of using chains. So we're getting rid of the chains. Just don't punch the power supply during the teardown and rebuild. That's not me. That's Daniel. I'm more gentle with my hardware than Daniel is. They need an EBB 36 style Nighthawk. Yes, they do. Sorry if it's redundant, but what would these upgrades be doing mainly? A lot of this is an opportunity for me to show the install for the production versions of these. The other is for myself to get some experience with an umbilical setup in the Voron 2. We'll be running an umbilical in my 250 Trident as well. So that'll give me the opportunity to see what I like or dislike about it, firsthand experience on that. My impression is I prefer chains. Given there's faults in both directions, I prefer the look and management of chains, but I am giving this the old college try. Hey Zombie, we are green 2.4 twins. Mine was born first. Hey, Kelvin. Talking about chains, one of the big reasons we're doing that is from Fabrico, I received at one of the, I think this was at ERF, the Common Anomaly lightweight X-beam we're going to install with the titanium backer. And along with that are the CNC machined XY joints, which are really, really well done. So those are going to go on, and that's kind of one of the reasons that this is a good opportunity to ditch the chains. Just gonna do, I thought it was shocking. Hey, Jared. Hey, Kevin. What is the size sweet spot for the Vorons? I really like the 250 builds. 300 is obviously the middle ground. I wouldn't fault. I have a couple of 300 builds. So, a few 300 builds. I enjoy the Leviathan. It was fun to compare the pinouts and figure it all out. Nice. Hey, Dead Aim. Fancy CNC thingy. Love mine, much more stiff than the cheap ones you can find on the internets. Foreign design printables. Yeah. So I'm currently the one that is actually has access to that and is uploading things. I am not the one that is producing the content. That is done by others, more talented members of our team. So, hey, Laura. No CNC AB motor mounts. No, not on this build. This is going to retain the printed parts everywhere else. I have one of those on my 2.4. Need to install the second one on my other, but really love it. Very nice piece of kit. Nice haircut, by the way. Thanks. I feel a couple of pounds lighter. Continuing with the series of parts, the X carriage will be a Vitalli CNC Tap. It's being produced and should be shipped either now or in the next day or so. It'll be here before I actually need it. Whoppingpochard, the creator of the titanium backers, did a really nice custom set of these for me. For Murph 22 is when they gave these to me, and these are incredibly cool looking and such a good match. So these are titanium with the, I'm not exactly sure, I couldn't probably explain the process to anodize them in this fashion, but aren't those really nice? So is Vitalli doing the newer one or the old version? It was being machined on Friday, Shammy, so I assume the newer one. Newer one isn't Tap. Oh, it's not that. No, it's not that lightweight one. This is the Tap. This is the Vitalli Tap carriage. So, yeah. I have one on order from them. Nice. This is going to be a whole new printer. It'll be interesting. It's basically the purpose. This is really the purpose of these Tuesday streams, is for me to get caught up on things like this. I have these collection of parts that I've been putting on the shelf, and now I'm going to install them. So, air XLs are just the coolness of CNC. It is going to be stiffer than a printed solution. So yes, you should be able to see higher XLs, better input shaper values. Continuing on the gantry, I will be installing, the first time I've used or looked at the injection molded version of the Galileo 2 extruder. So we'll go in here. We've got actual injection molded gears instead of, there we go, instead of the MJF ones. And Jared's here. Would it be practical to weigh the whole X, Y, and X gantry before and after? Well, I don't have, well, maybe. It would, it would be, will it be easy? We'll see. We can gather up the parts and weigh them and do the same on the other way. It's a good suggestion. Let's try it. Don't let me forget. Okay, so this guy is here. The cool, glittery, sparkly sticker. Are those titanium rails available anywhere? The Whopping titanium rails, the DXF or whatever for cutting these is all available. You can get these, I think, at a lot of the most common Voron vendors. I got these directly from Whopping, but Fabrico, West 3D. I don't think KB3D carries these, but you could check. Yeah, I could put all the parts in a plastic bin. It's a matter of trying to get a direct comparison. What parts transfer over, and so we'll see. Oh, only one way. Yeah, only one way to get them this way is direct. Three of the G2E and 8 of the G2Z. I'll get their Rocky Mountain Rep Festival merch. Yes, shirts. You can't get shirts on site, so you have to get them ahead of time. What else? I will be doing a Revo Voron. However, so I'm gonna do a the silver heatsink Revo Voron, and I have a selection of high flow obsidian nozzles. So we're going to take an opportunity to check those out as well. So this is a 0.8. Hey, Jordan. They are titanium backers. Yep. Backers work on chains or not? Yes, you can install the backers on chains. One side has are those threaded? Are those threaded? Let me see. Yeah, one side has threaded holes to attach the chain to. So I won't be utilizing that, but still. Okay, so I think I have the 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and 1.4 millimeter high flow obsidian nozzles. This one is 0.6. This one's 0.4, and the 1.4 is somewhere else because I was showing someone at work how ridiculous the size of the nozzle is. Have you tried a Diamondback nozzle? I have not. They're just expensive. And honestly, I really don't like. I prefer not having to hot tighten the nozzle. Now I could get a Revo Diamondback, but that's not just one, two. Okay, what else do we have? I've printed parts for the Galileo too, because if we run short on things to do, that's what we're going to dive into, is just assembling that part, because there's a few things here that I don't have enough stuff for. So let's start unbuilding, and I think that's probably going to be the best view. And I'm gonna probably clean the panels as much as I can. I'm not gonna try to replace them, but I'm going to go through and clean the dust and stuff off of them. We are giving away a roll of Polymaker filament tonight. The link is in the pinned post and the description. pull that all the way out. Hey, Pathetic Puma. It's a Diamondback set of Revos. We may have to do a group buy for him to get one set. Steve Unbuild, yep. I picked up 3 Diamondback Revos at Earth. Wow. Wow. I did use Loctite in these. It is definitely sticking. I give all the partners a few weeks because of Ellen. Oh, yeah. The new year. Wow. All of these are. This has been a while since this printer's been apart. There's one. I'll set these over here. Ooh, and I get to dust it off. I got crud. Config backed up before teardown or starting fresh. Well, I'm not going to be doing anything with the Pi. I'm going to start the Pi up, so all of that will still be there. How about a Tuesday teaching CAD stream? So, as you saw on Sunday, I don't know if I feel myself qualified for teaching CAD. I don't mind going through and showing my process, because that's, especially when I have content like that. But going through and actually doing a lesson, I know enough. I don't feel like I'm teacher material on that. I've been happy with the normal brass high flow Reservoir nozzles, but the obsidian ones are quite enticing. I really like my capability of printing the filled filaments. Oh. Still think you look like the blue musician called C6 Steve. You're his doppelganger. Oh yeah? Hey BBs. Hey Harry. I saw the end of the stream later. It was a nice bit of Fusion 360 work to watch. Awesome. Dig the battle config on that build. Mine isn't closed up. Might have to adopt that. The Jared here helped me pick the colors. Jared CO1 in chat. Kind of going for like a 60s muscle car kind of vibe with the stainless fasteners and the green frame. Okay. The problem is that I'm almost out of this. So the parts are, the gray is a KVP graphite, and I'm almost out of it. And the silver is either like Nova Maker silver or Paramount silver, and I am out of it. So this was printed in 3D Print Life silver, which actually turned out really nice. Woo, all the way across. So that's a good replacement. I don't know what I'm going to replace the dark gray with. Derek, thanks for the gifted memberships. And I wanted to say, we had a, while we were waiting for stream, we had a channel member that I forgot to thank. If you're here, that would have been, oh, it doesn't tell me. Let me see who that was. Alan, thanks for becoming a member. Hey Jeff, a question I've always had, why foam on clear panel, not on frame? Is Clee putting you up to that question? I was thinking Windex might be good to clean ABS from acrylic. This Plexo stuff I have works pretty well. It's in the other garage though. I'm currently modding my 2.4 pin mod, Nighthawk. I think Polymaker has a color that is pretty similar. I have a couple of dark grays on hand. I need to just print them and check it. Hey Pezlis, welcome. I put it on the frame. I don't like to deal, I would rather deal with the residue on the panels than on the frame. My preference is to put it on the panels. So, oh, I guess I can pull the doors too. Fabrico is gray ASA carbon fiber from 3DO. How dark is it? Because I kind of like it. I like this to be pretty dark. Yeah. Okay. That is out. I guess we should pull the... PF Dennis, thanks for the gifted memberships. Did I miss another one? Currently modding my 2.4, read that. 250 V2 looks nice, almost makes me wish I had one of those instead of a 350. Like I said, I like my smaller builds. Polymaker dark gray is dark. Is the single MGN much better? I have a 300 with double nines and want to go stealth burner, but don't know if I should upgrade. It's easier to line up. It's definitely easier to line up. I am getting ready to add a toolbox to my shop here that's going to house my streaming tools and other things. It's going to clean up this area quite a bit, and it's going to give me another work surface right here, I think. Portable roll around little tool chest. Yeah, Mehmet, thank you. These night streams are the best. Please use your pull with LDO to bring this green frame back. I want one so bad. I don't know if I have any pull with LDO, but I agree. I love this color. Chip diffusion filaments, cosmic magnetism gray. Okay. Does that have a sparkle to it? Has a bit of green in it. Oh, in that fusion filaments? Oh, Polymaker dark gray, I see. Check the fusion. From an old Camaro. Yeah. I'll put this big. I don't think I'm gonna put the filter, this air filter here on the back when I put it back together. We'll do some other solution. Do you have any printer with a black frame? Yes, my Switchwire 01 has a black frame, and my original V2 over here on the floor has a black frame. I want to look at kitchen islands as well for mobile base cabinet. I'm just going to spend a bit and buy the little, it's a Harbor Freight US General Series 3, their little 27-inch cabinet. The thing I really like about it is 22 inches deep. So I will be able to put a printer on it if I want. There's an orange identical printer somewhere in the shop. No, you can't see it from here. It's over there. Thought about those annex panel clips for easy access. I printed them for my Trident and love them. I don't mind these. I don't pull my panels off that often. So. The Polymaker Dark Gray does really well with Sparta E3 Limebot Green. I'm using that for my Milo. Awesome. Does that rebuilds include CNC parts? For the X Gantry, it does. How's the Voron Phoenix build going so far? Well, the reason you see it backwards here is I'm about to film wiring to get back on track with getting this going. So the next bit that I'm going to film is doing all the wiring and hooking things up on the back, and then I can move on to other bits and hopefully get it going fairly soon. So sent a link of a cheaper one I'm looking at. I'll check it out. Thanks, Shammy. Found the AVE first time here. Welcome, Chip. Welcome. I'm a bit late. What mods are we doing? All of them. 4 SSRs. Yep. 2.4 kilowatts worth of beds. Worth of bed heater. 2.4 kilowatts. I have not posted any Phoenix videos. I'm collecting them. Okay. That is that. I am going to, because we are going to replace these belts. I don't know how old these are. And I have some of the GT3 stuff that we're going to put on instead. So these are just going to go away. And I'm going to be cleaning out some belt dust. One of the things I want to do with this build is really pay attention to gantry and pulley alignment, and see how paying extra attention to that impacts our overall performance when we're done. Not gigawatts. What is the dimensions of that monster and a printer in the background? The overall dimensions are big, but it's a 600 cubed-ish build volume. The GT3 is the next generation of GT2. Yeah, it's not the pitch. It's still a 2mm pitch. And I don't know what the exact designation is. They're supposed to be a little stiffer. They're all black. They don't have that brown, the brown look there. They're all black as visual distinction. I bought many meters of it from Fabrico of the 9mm because I'm going to try it on this monster. And I'm also going to use it for the Trident 9mm setup. What was that black box on the back of the printer? Oh, are you talking about this? Are you talking about that? That's the spec filter housing on the back that I never actually put a filter in any of mine. How many hours of printing ABS should Gates belts last? I don't know. The print it forward folks would have a great answer for that. Trident 9mm. No, I'm going to install the double T CNC 9mm setup on my Trident on these Tuesday streams, probably. Okay, that is the panels off. So let's look at the bottom and we'll take the bottom panel off. Got things that are probably going to fall out, but we can get a look-see at the electronic setup I had in here. You need double shear bearings in order to tolerate the maximum tension of a GT3. Okay. Hey, Fevered Mind. Just recently started my Trident build. Thanks for the great design and video series. Awesome. Thank you. I got hold of a spool of Fire Engine Red to reprint the accent parts on my 2.4. Love with that color since I first saw it. I like the dark reds. Engineering Chaos. Engineering Chaos. Do I have... Yeah, I can use this one for now. Few fasteners I'm collecting here, so... Hex tray. The recommended tension of GT3 is very strong, stronger than most 3D printer parts motor shaft. That's what I mean. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Okay. This is... Oh. There we go. This is my layout for the for this. It's very tight. It was fun to wire. It is a Duet 2 Wi-Fi and the Duex 5 running clipper. And I have a Meanwell DIN rail mounted power supply for the Pi. And then the SSR and the regular LRS 200. So this power supply can go away, but and we'll probably shift things around in here because I have a 48 volt DIN rail to throw on here if we feel like we need to do that. Is that what we have here? I think that's what we have here. Yeah. So this is a 48 volt, 100 watt. That makes it even tighter, but that'll fit in there. Is that a kit or self-source? This was self-source. LDO doesn't make a 250 2.4 kit. And this was built before, I think this was built a year before the LDO came out with a 2.4 kit. They had frames and rails and stepper kits and stuff like that, but this was built right before I started working on what ended up being Trident. The 2 MCUs take up quite a bit of room. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is going to clean up a lot. What are the requirements for getting a serial number? It needs to be a Voron or a very close derivative. You have to look at it, the serial number people, Sanity, myself, Taco, whoever. I haven't done serial numbers in a while though. You have to look at it and say, yeah, this is deserving of a Voron serial number. You need a deck panel. You need it to be safe. You need to make sure that there isn't any wiring in an unsafe manner. And that's about it. So, fit in there. Yeah. What is that 48 volt supply? That 48 volt supply I showed a second ago is a Meanwell. It's the Meanwell, it is the HDR series. HDR, high definition resolution. HDR series. If you use these 48 voltages for all steppers or just A and B? Just A and B. My Vorons will never have serial numbers because I don't have and never will have a Reddit account. There's a long time project to give options other than Reddit. It is a tough problem to solve, especially in an environment where we're all volunteers, right? So at some point there may be an option. I can't tell you when that'll be. Sanity's doing a great job on serials. Yep. No magic smoke coming out for serial. That's a good point. No magic smoke. Oh, it has to be printing. You need a video of it printing and you need to show enough of the printer for us to tell what it is. A DIN terminal block. What else would be great to add to that PSU? A DIN terminal block. High dynamic resolution. Just the Meanwell power supply's model series is HDR. I want serial request for my 2.4, but it's so heavy I just don't want to move it. We can, so basically we're going to remove all the most of the wiring. So I might as well just start taking things out of the way that are going to, that I don't want to damage. Is this rep firmware or clipper? This printer is clipper. Meanwhile says HDR is hanging DIN rail. There we go. Awesome. Thanks, Bill. Okay, so get that out of the way. Oh, this is my camera. My camera up here. That's the USB for that. USB for the Duet. I would discourage from a DIN terminal block. They are big and bulky, would go Wago on any future build. Well, I've got Wagos in here already. We will be reevaluating. Like, this has been, what would this be? This would be 2000, late 2000 or 2020, late 2020 when I built this. Maybe 2021. 2021 is when I built this. Yeah, it would be 2021. This is the old style DIN clips. Whew. And it is dusty. I don't know how well that's coming across, but I'm gonna have to dust all of this off. What is this thing? A Pi 3. It's a Pi 3. I will probably just leave that. I don't think there's any reason for me to change it. So not that long ago, really. None of this is really that long ago. I joined the Voron team in May of 2020. It's only 4 years ago, not even 4 years ago. I got a video of my Micron pushing plastic, but it has a bad board, no 5 volts, waiting on a BTT on a replacement. There is no reason for me to care about any of this particular wiring setup. I do have a PT100. I don't actually, at some point I had a PT100 thermistor on here, but when I put, or hot end thermistor, but the Revo Roto didn't have that, so I stopped using that. So it has 2 Wi-Fis? No, this is the DuX. This is the DuX expansion board. There's a ribbon cable here that connects them, and this gives a bunch of extra stepper outputs and general fans and stuff like that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Paintbrush will take all that dust out. Yeah. I've got lots of extra cleanup to do. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm sure many people have, but I have a very high sensitivity to just household dust. It will screw me up, my sinuses. Can we make DuX CAN transceiver work with Clipper? It's CAN FD. I don't think so. I don't really care about what these are because we're going to be redoing all of these. So I mean, this is a nice board to have. It may get rep firmware put back on it at some point and be used on something. Maybe a CNC or something. I don't know. I don't know, actually. Sent to YouTube to Wago. So amazing. Mini 5 Plus I was considering using. I have a Mini 5 Plus in my original V2. Oh, one thing I did. You can't see them here. Now you can. This big ribbon cable here kept spreading the boards across, so I made little tied together brackets to force it to stay together. Now the whole thing moves as one. Should use the Duet on your Milo. I'm gonna use the Milo as the kit came, and until there's a reason not to. So if it continues to work, it'll stay that way. May prompt me to modify, update my Trident. This is the HDR 100-48. It's that. It's the HDR 148. Exactly, Derek. Meanwhile, docs are not clear on what the first letter is for. Found some conflicting info. The DR is clearly DIN rail. Okay. Do you need different AB motors for 48 volts? I haven't even looked at the specs to see how to take advantage of the extra voltage. I'm probably not going to take advantage of the extra voltage. I may not even hook that up in this first round. If this evolves into something that might scoot a little more, then I very well might. But right now, we will see. Right now, we'll get it apart and go from there. Hey, Elizabeth. Nice fix. I could not find the DuX. What What is that? There we go. This has a, there we go. That comes out. So it has a little clip here, and you get a screwdriver in here and pop it out to take it off the rail. Put it on, push that in, and it locks on. My math on 48 volts says steppers will be at 72 watts each at 1.5 each. I can't refute what you're saying there. I will say that the math for steppers is not intuitive. So if you don't know what the calculation should be for stepper currents and stuff, it's probably not correct. What have you made on Milo? Anything you can show us? I haven't built my Milo yet. We're going to start that on Sunday. Just finished doing basic wire on my Netscape 3. Now setting up Clipper. Any name recommendations? I am the most boring printer namer around, so I have no recommendations. This is V2 green, and I have V2 black and V2 blue. I do have Charlie wire. That's my creative. I put sleeving on the wires here. How fancy. What have you made? Check the ventilation cutout 90 degrees to airflow. You talking about on this guy? Oh, see. It wasn't installed correctly. I get it. I get it. Then you have Charlie wire. Yep. I have vzbot.local and I have VT gray and, well, Voron 1. My original Trident is Voron 1 because it started as V1.9. Big old blocks. There we go. Whew. The old style. I think I remodeled those to have 2 clips each. Dusty. Hey, Print3D. My VZBot is working very well. It depends on the print, on whether I have the print artifacts, but all of the black parts on the Rook were printed on the VZBot. My boring names are MK3, yeah. Ever thought about splitting the electronics into a top hat like the Doom builds? I have, but I just haven't. Josh, Charlie left us last September, so it's been a good while. Laura log off, but is sitting behind me. She sincerely asked, what does he print with all these printers? More printers. I mean, that's the only real answer, right? 4 printers and RC cars and Nerf blasters or foam dart blasters. That's a chunky build, Steve. Used it in an E3D tool changer. Tool changer is coming. Black box. We're building a black box, but it's coming with Duet 3 electronics. So, okay. We're going to basically be completely redoing all this underdeck stuff. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Do you have any experience with Arduino? I first got into 3D printing to make parts for Arduino projects, and now I'm addicted. I would love to find projects that catch my interest in those like Arduino style things, but I haven't found anything that just kind of gets me wanting to finish a project. This one needs a printed wiring diagram for sure. Oh, black box, yeah. Black box is going to be fun. That will be sometime after the Milo build, but not far after. And for Milo, I have a kit for it to be all CNC metal. I'll be sending to you. A kit. Oh, really? Okay. Shoot me a DM. I appreciate that. Black box controller's meh. It looks nice, but it's a bit clunky. Black box controller. What do you mean? Black box controller. Just jumped in. What are we upgrading? We are upgrading my original. We're gonna redo that. Well, not my original. My green Voron 2. It's the second V2 that I built. So Bill, maybe I'm just stream brain, but Black Box is the tool changer printer from KB3D is spearheading that project. It's Black Box Community Edition. On the VZBot artifacts, can it be a motor noise? Easy way to check it, speed up an outer wall and compare the results. It could be. I need to spend some time on that. So. All ABS parts that are used as CNC and have other upgrades coming. Interesting. That is interesting, Print3D. Will you be using any of the CNC or carbon fiber gantry parts on this one? I will be using the Common Anomaly CNC X gantry. Okay, can this thing come off now? I've got that all disconnected, and then I've got a little brace here that holds it from sliding around. Oop, see? I've got a phone call coming in. They'll have to go to voicemail. In true rep spirit, I built printers to print parts to build printers, then print upgrades mods for printers. Yep. Crossover collision, black boxes, open build, CNC controller. Oh, I see. Got it. Yep. I was a little worried there, Bill. But we're on the same page now. Okay. Old style DIN clips. We'll update all of those. They work fine, but I'll still update them. We will continue to use that power supply. I want to redo all of this anyway as part of this, so. Whew. And I need to dust it all off. I would never get into Arduino development environment. Plus most of what I do is free RTOS. Okay, now we can start clipping wires. So the only gantry wires that are going to remain are the A and B steppers. So I think I'm just going to snip all of these. Just pull most of it. Love DIN rails in my printers, gives so much flexibility in mounting and designs. Yeah. That's the bed thermistor. We'll have to recrimp because the Duet uses those Molex KK connectors, so we'll have to redo almost all of it. What do I have for, oh, that's ABS, yeah. This is all Remington PTFE wire. All completely custom cut and made. What do we have? 279 people here on a Tuesday, but 128 likes. What can we get to at the 2-hour mark for a giveaway? Filament giveaway is at 7, which is an hour from now. End of stream is right around there, depending on what we're in the middle of doing. I want to keep these Tuesday streams relatively short so I can still do stuff. The Duet connectors are pretty nice. I agree. Okay, that is that and that. All the rest of this is all of that. I think I can turn this back around. 600 likes. Okay. Galileo 2 packaging box has served its purpose of giving us a better view. It's getting lighter. Okay. Zip tie there, holding that. I'll probably reprint this to the latest Voron 2 version. That's not what I want to do. Is it? Maybe it is what I want to do. Oh, now that can come through here. There we go. Okay, on Nero stream today, like we're updating without needing to refresh. Oh, interesting. We're at 172 likes right now. We can definitely get way past the 200 mark. We need to hit 250 today. We have 280 people here. We need 250 today. Did anybody catch? So what was the big announcement today? What was the big thing out there? At least in our little realm. What was the thing today? Or how long before Formbot and the other alley vendors come out with a Milo kit? It shouldn't. I bet you it's not long. Okay. Magneto X. Magneto X. Everybody here knows I've talked about I pre-ordered the kit back in whenever the pre-orders were open. I heard what Magneto was talking about, what they were planning on doing. The linear motors really intrigued me. The touch, the load cell, Z probing was interesting, and the attitude of Mark and his team was very appealing. So I did a pre-order. I wanted to check it out, wanted to see it for myself. So the I left that pre-order out there, and at some point I ended up getting on the final validation testing team. So I have had a Magneto X since for a little while now. So we'll talk about that more over the coming time. But just know that I have had one. I have had to be coy about it, but I have not, as far as I know, I have not actually said anything untrue about when I've avoided those questions. My pre-order, as far as I'm aware, still has not shipped. And that has been my response to questions, is my pre-order has not shipped, and it has not. So splitting hairs, but I'm a much better keeper of secrets and stuff than some people we know. And that's saying that in total fun. No wonder my streams. I've hidden it very well. It's important to me. This is my second live stream. What time is the giveaway? I forgot. An hour from now, Caleb. An hour from now. No wonder your streams keep dropping out. What? There's a Voron 2.4 mod to just slap the Prusa net. I saw that. It's been keeping the PVT Magneto in the Phoenix. I gotta ask, has my fat rig being near completion inspired you to finish the Phoenix? No, me needing to finish the Phoenix has inspired me to finish the Phoenix. What kit is this? This isn't a kit. This was a self-source 250 V2. Hey, Nurkiel. Hey, RJ. My Amazon tool list doesn't have reamers. I need to fix that. I'm terrible about fixing stuff with that, though. Okay, all of this wiring goes away. So let's keep at it. Still runs off a fork clipper. Yeah. So the stuff they're working, or they're intending to work with clipper on it. I believe that they are. But it's not running at the very, it's running on some previous, very slightly previous version of clipper right now. How's the shed? It hasn't been discussed. It is there and it has a lot of stuff in it. And I've got a lot less stuff in here, but it's not anywhere close to done. I still have to do the electrical very soon. Reamers on Amazon is a waste. It's drop ship from LE. Not the ones I bought. So it probably depends on what listing you can find, Sergey. What is that best budget Voron kit? No parts needed. I can print them now. I don't have any experience. The only experience I have is with LDO kits. I know that many of the kit manufacturers have significantly upped their game since the early days. So I don't have a recommendation I can give you, but I can say that there are other kits out there that I've heard are reasonable. Hey, Maker Viking, welcome. I'm going to order my EcoFlow tomorrow. Hopefully the Droid Foundry will be printing. Nice. How is self-sourcing nowadays? Built my V2 when Ali was still pretty cheap for shipping. The cost, I think a big thing about cost difference on self-sourcing is really the various, all the shipping and stuff adds up. My first Voron I built, there were no kits, nothing at all. And, oh, mosquito. I think I spent like $300 or $400 of it in shipping and taxes. Are you going to finish off that 240Z on a stream? Yes. So the 240Z, the 3D sets model, this guy right here. This is a Charlie's Angels members stream content. We will be continuing it this Saturday. And Friday or so, I'll make last one public. So you can, so anybody can check out the first part, but that'll be continuing on Saturday. So Prusa is discontinuing the Mark III's Plus. I mean, that's what happens every release, right? At some point after the Mark III came out, you couldn't get the Mark II anymore. It's not unexpected. Okay. Chains. My poor lovely chains. Not going back on here. And none of this wire is going on here. Does anyone ever build Stealth Burner with Clockwork 1? Just curious, not sure I've seen anyone do it. You can do it, and I've done it early on. But anymore, if you got the stepper, I'd do Clockwork 2. Okay, we need to... I think we just need to pull all of these and just put the AB steppers back in. I definitely don't need... Maybe I can replace this with one of the narrower chains. I don't know if that's worth it. Derek, thank you. Steve, sharing any bit of wisdom, please, on building a Voron Legacy, starting one in March. Very nice. The Legacy isn't a complicated build. I think, what would I say on the Legacy? The most challenging part on Legacy is really the belt pathing through the AB steppers. But speaking of glass, I wonder if it would work to print an anvil and heat form the plexiglass over it. For what? I'm just going to pull these completely out because that I think will be easier. I ditched a chain as well using fishing pole cover on the umbilical. We might go for look at an underslung bundle here. Keep it under the gantry. For the RC car, what are we? Oh, I see what you're talking about. My wife drug out her cricket, however you say it, and I was able to cut the plastic with it. I was told that I should reduce one dimension by about 1 millimeter on the windshield to make it easier to install. So I'm planning on doing that and cutting them again because the first ones I cut are a little dirty. I wasn't using a fresh cutting mat. Okay, so now we can pull this out, split off. This might be fun to split these off. Got a few zip ties kind of stitching the thing together. Hey Steve, took a long time to finish my 2.4 and just finishing up the checks, which I'll pass, but having a probe issue when the bed and hot end is up to temp. What kind of probe? Okay, so let's see if we can, this is gonna quickly become a very tangled mess. Oh yeah, this is not gonna be fun. And I don't even, there's possibility that some of these are captured because by the time it gets to the other end, it's very easy to lose track of what wires are what. And this isn't great. You can see me in the small view, but the inductive probe. Wonder if you can mount a small MCU board on the gantry to drive the 4 motors to eliminate wiring going downstairs. There are little CAN boards for the gantry. This is a interesting tanglement. Oh boy. This is getting worse. I don't want to just cut it. There's no reason not to just cut it. I can cut every one of these but the, okay. I'm going to cut every one of these but the steppers. That's extruder. Yeah, I don't need the extruder one. This one is A, so don't cut that one. This one is the inductive probe. Just gonna cut all these close to here. They're not going back on, so I don't want to fight this. Where is the, oh, there it is, underneath there. There we go. Woo! Put that over there. Give it to Laura. She has a surprising amount of patience untangling. Yeah, I think that's a trait my wife shares as well. She enjoys untangling things. Okay, there are our A and B steppers, and there's no reason to redo these. So we'll leave those right there for now. Ties itself in knots if you look at it funny. Yeah. I always QGL the bed when it's cool. Same with the mesh. Though I did find that the inductive probe can drift based on heat. Before a print, I never QGL or mesh with it cold. I always do it at temperature because there's a significant amount of expansion on that. Okay, next thing that can come out is my Euclid probe mount. This worked really well on this printer. I have no complaints, but we will be going with tap on the setup. We are at 300 people and 190 likes. Hey, Polar Ted, welcome. Basic Euclid mount. Get rid of, and we can get rid of the Z end stop mount here. We won't be needing that. Hey, Dr. Dave. What are we at? 199 likes now. But I scared 7 people away, or 6 people away. This is a, oh, there goes the pin. Pre little PCB just soldered in. Oh. Yeah, that's a fidget toy. I'm tired of acrylic and polycarbonate. I want glass. I want to break glass. 206. We made it. Now we need to get 44 more before giveaway time. Okay. Clicky or tap and why? I like tap. I like it. Clicky is definitely an option though. I just like the direct probing, and I mostly use textured beds, so I don't have any of that problem. I've had the most consistent first layers with tap of any solution I've tried. Transparent aluminum. Okay, that is stripped down. So is there anything, so I think I still have all the stuff to compare weight on the gantry here. I think I can have any worries of over or backfeeding the controllers. I can move this up as fast as I want. There we go. I finally got to try my beacon. It's neat. Clicky if you care about rigidity and superior speed. Tap if you want easy layers. There you go. That's a good point. I won't refute that. What I'd like to, I feel like I can hit pretty decent, pretty usable speeds. So we'll see where we can get with this printer. When it's all done, we'll see where we get. Chaotic Labs tap or something else. The only CNC taps I have experience with are the Chaotic Labs for now. This is going to get a Vitalli CNC tap. The printed tap I have a lot of experience with and luck with, although I have had one fail. But your success there is probably going to be very dependent on how well they're printed and installed, and how much it lasts and what specific material you use. Okay, this end stop wire can go away. So other than that, I think there we go. The wiring's pretty cleaned up. I'll probably go around and clean the panels. I had to adjust my QGL with tap. The Mandela Rosework kinematic mounts with their mag bed flexes a bit of probing towards the edges. Okay. Hi, Siddish. I'll likely move to tap someday too, but waiting on something to break to make it worthwhile. I really want load sensor, a load cell probing. I've encouraged, it's cool to see the Mark IV, the Extruder on a Voron, although the aesthetics could use some work. Yeah. Okay, I can go there. Let's take this off. Now, on this printer, my X-rail is pretty tight. This is a very early Honey Badger. Tight is good, but I feel like this might be a little too tight. What I want to do is take it off and clean it real well, re-grease it, actually truly clean it out, all the old grease, re-grease it and see how it feels when it's fresh. If I don't use this one, then I have a Z1 preload LDO rail I can put on here, which should also have no lateral play. I really want to see load cells getting used in DOA printers. Yes, yes. I will ditch all of my taps for a good load cell. I would not even think about eddy current probe if there's a good load cell setup. Why go with the 250? Isn't size a major factor of why you build a Voron? Or am I missing something? Not at all. So if you think about it, what percentage of your parts will fit in this build area? And for that matter, what percentage will actually fit in a V0 when you're printing small quantities of stuff? If you're printing plates full of stuff, that's a different scenario. But if I want to just print something, which is the spur of the moment print, almost everything will fit in a V0. And if it doesn't, almost everything else will fit here. And this will fit on my bench a whole lot better. And it's easier to move around. It's lighter. Having 0 in the Z offset with a load cell is so neat. No more paper. Yeah. So that's the thing. Both the Magneto X, so now I can talk about the Magneto X and my Mark IV, I've not touched first layer calibrations. There's lots of forks and PRs for load cells and clipper, but none have managed to get merged into trunk yet. I think 250 is a good print size without the printer becoming too large. Yep. I was printing parts for my 2.4 V0 and 250, saw way more plates than my 300. Well, of course. That scenario where you're printing lots of things, lots of small parts, a bigger printer is going to be an advantage. The Magneto does have a load cell. Yes. There is the next thing on Magneto, the next thing I want to see in the final validation and stuff is optimizations in just like print start and speeds, homing speeds and that kind of stuff. So stuff that has nothing to do with the printer design. When bamboo was on my desk, it shook my table like nothing else. How is it on that? On the Magneto, it's not bad. I don't have a bamboo though, so I don't know what it vibrates. I do have a VZ-Bot that vibrates the bench quite a bit, but so do my Vorons when I turn up the speeds. The Magneto does run clipper, yep. Really looking forward to load cells getting to be mainstream. Yep. As far as weights are concerned, I want to keep that on my mind. So let's pull. Wonder if I put the rail carriage into ultrasonic cleaner, will it break something? Will it clean it well? It should be fine. That's what I'm planning on doing, Sergey, for this when I clean this up. So I was running the Hall Effect end stop pod on here. Do you have any prints nearby that you can show that came off the Magneto? I do not, actually. I should have brought something. So I have not printed as much of some of the other testers. I've done mostly like assembly and a couple of parts change out stuff, and a couple of things that kind of prevented me from wanting to print on it until I had a different part. So my volume of parts is not as big as like Nero's. Nero's printed quite a bit on his. What I'm excited for, which I just got, is to be able to start doing ABS stuff on it. Then I'll have a lot more. I don't do a lot of PLA or PETG general printing in the first place. So having the enclosure now and being able to do some ABS and ASA printing on it means I'm a lot more motivated to throw prints at it. Ooh. I got a friend there. You can just go away. Okay. Is it Magneto or Magneto? Magneto is what I've been saying. I take on an old motor more efficient than a new tape. Oh, so with tap you can go sensorless homing for X and Y. Yes, yes. So the nice thing about tap, which is even an advantage over like a load cell, is you can hit the corner of the air duct and still trigger tap if you're driving into the if you're homing and you home off to the side because sensorless homing screwed up or something. Any pressure on the tool head is going to trigger it. Even with a load cell, you have to hit that nozzle. If it might trigger depending on where it's connected and stuff, but still. Can you show the Magneto with enclosure? It's in the other room. It's the top hat isn't done being assembled. I was thinking about bringing it in here and having it sit in the background, but it's not assembled enough right now. Take off that guy. Okay, we have this. Dude, I don't have a scale out here. I think what we'll probably just do is still continue with what we're doing here. And I'll weigh the sum of parts in a bowl like was suggested, and I'll post it. Old stream space is for secrets. Yes. It's actually on the kitchen table. It's not even in the old stream place. Good for them doing something weird and creative. Absolutely. No belts is weird. How heavy is the Magneto? Very. It is very heavy. It's got a big hunkin' giant aluminum plate for a bed. I'm working on my clipper conversion for my school's MakerBot replicator. It has a knockoff tap, so I'm converting it for sensorless homing. Nice. We will go over. Like I said, I believe that my pre-order is still to be shipped. I'll probably do just an unboxing and check that one out. I've got full content for the other stuff right now. How's your wife like the Magneto would be the more appropriate question. She's tolerating it for right now. But now that the shed's in place, I have fewer and fewer excuses to have things out there. My only reservation on the Magneto is spares for motors if PL Poly were to fold. I don't think there's anything unique or proprietary about the motors. Now, the cost might be the one thing. but okay. So I want to keep the parts that are this separate. So do I have I think I have a bin I can put them in so we can keep what I'm going to weigh separate. Now, does that include this? I think this can come off and not be weighed with it. Because we're comparing if either setup was using umbilical, then this isn't really part of it. And I can throw a 5x10 on there and then another one. Another 5x10. Are they over there? Here. There we go. I'll stand in there for weight. Think there'll be a magnetic cocoa press in the future. Mark said they designed and built the motors themselves. Okay, then I hadn't caught that. Okay, so we are going to collect all the parts that we're going to weigh. Are there any other parts that I need to weigh for comparing the weights of these things than this? Ooh, that's some interesting belt rubbing going on. Oh, on both sides. We will be going over the entire gantry. Thanks, going to check it out. We will be going over the entire gantry then. Well, I thought we were comparing just basically this. Because if we get into comparing drag chain, then how much of the umbilical do we need to weigh? I feel like the proper comparison is this versus this and these with the associated bolts. Isn't supposed to be the most practical thing in the world. It's proof of concept, and there's always a risk with early adoption. Yep. Just the assembly, everything else should be the same. Yeah. That's kind of my thought too. So, but to collect all these things, I have seen Cookie Cat's new ABS. There's a couple of colors there that I'd really like to try. I don't have any of it yet though. At that. Now I'm going to have to pull some bearings and check how the condition of bearings and pulleys here to move over, but that will do. This will come off. What are you changing exactly? CNC, XY joints, and X-beam. Yep. The common anomaly ones. I just ordered 2 rolls. Gonna go some strength testing. Nice. Now, like I said, this is a really stiff rail. Like, and I also said this is a very early Honey Badger rail. I don't know the Honey Badger 300 I just installed on my Blue V2 last night actually was not this stiff. So I think this is an early rail thing. So I want to pull it apart, completely clean it, put it back together, and see how it runs. It runs smooth, it's just very stiff. It weighs the same, if not more, but it takes up less space and is machined rather than extruded. Are we talking about the common anomaly thing versus this? I'm going can with umbilical. I'm going USB with the Nighthawk, the LDO Nighthawk board. Okay. Hey, Tuxedo. So, with this, I'm going to to mark the side with the Honey Badger logo. The X Gantry, I have one in my 300 Trident. Okay. Hey, Carlos from Brazil. Welcome. We are at 632. Now that you have gone through a bunch of hot ends for the 2.4, do you have one that you like more than the others? Hot ends? I still like the Revo. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, we are going to be checking out the high flow obsidian. So that's kind of the thing with this build, is we will be at least using the high flow version of the obsidian in here. Down in there. Is that a 12mm rail? This is a 12. This printer, when I originally built it, was of course the dual 9. No, I never did dual 9s on this printer. I went against the grain and did a single 9 and had a lot of good luck with it. It was fine. I went against the grain and kept it at a single 9. But at some point, I think when Fabrico first were doing these Honey Badger rails, they sent me one, and this is where I put it. It's Common Anomaly, the brand of the parts, or what? Common Anomaly is the Common Anomaly Productions. There we go. West 3D, DFH, and Fabrico are distributing them. This is the 250. You need a wide ultrasonic bath. Oh, I'm going to take this off, and I will probably actually take it completely apart, take each individual bearing out, and I keep them separate and on the correct side, and clean it completely out. I'll take the end caps off. I probably won't even sonic bath it, honestly. I'll probably get it all cleaned up by hand. Managed to find a Chinese spindle that has the ground wire 4 bearings. Nice. Very nice. ER20. There you go. Yeah, I don't think... I'm not really set up out here right now to do a full proper cleaning on this. Sonic cleaners are nice. I have a small one. It's right here. I have a small one that I've been using. And this is what I cleaned the LMU bearings for Pooch's Mark III to Mark IV upgrade in. But finding the right solvent to work well in there can be a little... You have to do the right thing, otherwise it just kind of soaks the grease and doesn't actually break it down. Are there equal amounts of bearings on each side? Yeah. How many can you lose before you should add bearings? You shouldn't lose any, and you shouldn't add any, because they're precisely matched to this. So, mine's about 3 times wider than that, yeah. Hey, Michael. Do you know which thermistor is in Revo Voron? It's neither. Revo Vorons are usually the 104 NT or GT. One of those. NT. They're 104 NTs. Carb cleaner. I made an ultrasonic bag with a water bucket and an old palm sander. One thing so it's kind of frowned upon to do, to put just alcohol or something in that. You put water in it. But if you want to use a solvent that's flammable, you can, and this is the same thing I did, you put the solvent and your thing in a container, close that up, put water in your sonic cleaner, and then put this in there, and it'll still get the vibrations. Simple green is what I actually used for Pooch's LMU bearings. But you have to be careful because once you clean them off, you have to immediately get them out and get them greased. Because if they dry, you will get flash rust. You can use a Ziploc. Mm-hmm. That's a large version of what you have. I just fill it. It's probably the safe idea is to not recommend to put flammable liquids directly in the sonic cleaner. I'm not safe. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next. So we could either assemble Galileo 2, but I don't know that we have enough time. Use Everclear, you can make some apple pie with the leftovers. Maybe we'll start on, I think we will start on the Galileo 2, because this is going to take more involvement, I think, than I want to deal with. And I mean, I may, just to save myself some time, just put the carriage in the sonic bath and see how it does. I think that's what I'll do. I doubt many of us are really safe. I agree, Jack. Absolutely. I will be the first to admit that off camera, there are probably many eyebrow raising things I do, but I do try to be as proper as I know to be on camera. Okay, let's start on Galileo 2. Let's go through that because that is going to give us this over here. That will take us through the end of the stream, and then I will have the next round of things ready for next Tuesday. Galileo 2 with, I hope I have all the printed parts. Oh yeah, we get to do that. Look at how bad that is on this one. How even the stress marks are. Isn't that interesting? I have one more piece. Where is it? Not that one. One more. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Look, I mean, just how even it is. And I think it actually pulled little pieces of my poor Matter Hackers textured plate off. So I can see a little bit of it right there, that shiny spot. Fill that pippy up with some acetone and maybe spray a little brake cleaner in it for good luck. What is the most worth it cheap Voron to build? I want a cheap enough project to work on. Voron 0. There you go. Time for the heat gun treatment. Yep. We can do heat gun, or we can have fun with the butane torch. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I'm waving it across there because you do not want that to stay on any one part. That is amazing. And I would not do that on a thin part at all. But lots of super quick. Oh, that was fun. This is just a Amazon thing. I actually bought this just, I mean, I needed something around here for sealing the ends of split loom and other things. I've had mosquito problems lately, so I bought some anti-mosquito incense. So this works well for that too. There isn't really a, I mean, there's an adjustment here, but yeah. There's a certain point where it just doesn't stay on. How'd you manage not to burn your fingers? When I'm moving it like that, even the tiny bit wasn't, if I felt it, it didn't burn me. Flame works great on mosquitoes here as well. Okay, let's get my heat set press over. And which, go. I've seen that done on old stadium seat to bring them back. Yeah. Is there a reason to run Galileo 2 over Clockwork 2? Not really. I mean, I've had a lot of good luck and good prints with Galileo 2 though. So there is a, so let me rephrase that. Let me put that question on hold, and as we unbox the part, we'll show you the major differences between Clockwork 2 and Galileo 2. Okay? And Jared might still be around, but so I have to be careful what I say. I'm just taking all the peaks off here so I get a nice, good interface between the parts. Same here. He is here. Okay. So once we get into here, so the big difference, the big difference between Clockwork 2, and that is taking the focus. So Clockwork 2 and Galileo 2 is this guy right here. So the drive gear for the filament is, wow, there's two big differences, but much larger diameter drive gear. One side is driven, the other side is a bearing, right? And so this drives bearing, idler bearing for the filament. And then the other part is the planetary gearbox, the gear reduction. What is it, 7.5 or is it 9-to-1, Jared? I think it's 9-to-1, right? So those bits and pieces and the aluminum carrier that goes along with it. 9-to-1, yep. So I'm not gonna keep these out. Let's put a bunch of heat sets in. So we're gonna use the one that came with it. Kind of like the Extruder gear is so much larger than usual. Yep, exactly. Heat set inserts. I'm a few seconds behind watching on TV. Good. Okay, let us go to, and as we install things, I think there are websites and product and project sites for the various mods I'm going to do. So we'll cover those as we install them. I didn't go to all of them as we were introducing what we're doing to the printer, but we'll cover them as they get installed. So let's go to Jared's GitHub for Galileo 2. So this is our friend here, Jared CO1. So Galileo 2 extruder. I'm gonna paste this link in the chat. There we are. And where was the manual? I thought there was a manual here. Galileo 2. Manuals. Here we are. I want the manual. So the extruder manual. And I'm going to down. And save this to, let's just go V2 green. Save that there. Okay, so we'll follow these assembly instructions and all the stuff, all the beginning stuff. We'll skip all this. There's our basic clipper configuration. That's the exploded view. And where do we start? Nice cool renders. And we are going to put a bunch of heat sets in. I think there we go. And I'm going to grab a chair. Bought another kit for G2SA for my Zero. Put it on top of a Dragon Burner at some point. I'm going to build something with the G2SA. That's the standalone version, which is kind of like the orbiter form factor. Heat set inserts are like wire nuts. Every job you do, you somehow end up with more inserts in your parts bin than you started out with. The renders are gorgeous. I agree. It would be at final if I had time to finish it. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to go here. Ooh. What iron do you have that insert in that insert press? It's a Pinesel. It's a Pinesel with a little custom mount that I made, that I modeled. It is much sturdier in here than the pressure clamp version. Have you seen the wristwatch G2? It's neat and maybe smaller than the G2 SA. I have seen it, and we did a wristwatch BMG, wristwatch BMG on the Rook. There. How many planetary extruders are around now? That's a good question. How hot is it normal for G2 stepper to get? I start worrying when my extruder stepper gets over 60 or 70 C. Although they're rated to go higher, but I don't think I can actually get in there. So I'm just going to use the edge of the ruler here to make sure it's flush. Use a different gear on the stepper than CW2, right? Yes, the stepper here is not the same stepper. Although this stepper I think could be used in CW2, but the CW2 stepper cannot be used in this. Did we have a question that I missed? There's no link for Discord in today's description. Really? There's no link to Discord in the description? Cancel. No link. We have 237 likes. We have 9 minutes and we need 13 more likes. We really need 13 more likes. Steve builds Discord. It's right there. The LDO stepper is rated for 130C. Yeah, but the plastic it's bolted to on a CW2. On this, at least it's on injection molded stuff, but the link is there. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get my window back in place. 341 people here, 248 likes. We're going to get there. Awesome. Needs an odd number of teeth for the planetary gear or something. There's a ratio that it needs to, a multiplier of teeth that needs to be correct. I think, well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, I would imagine that if you had two planetary gears, then it could be an even number, right? Like the Extruder is 2 planetary gears. I don't actually know how many teeth are on that one. Apex Peppers. What did you pick for your what did you get for your, or did you even get the coupon yet? For perfect meshing and planet loading, number of planets needs to be evenly able to go into the number of teeth in the sun. You want the teeth on the sun and the ring evenly divisible by the number of planets. 10-2 sun would do 2 planets, but they're way far apart, yeah. Which is why the Extruder requires an alignment tool. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm sure this is inserted straight. No code yet, but I'm eyeballing some Galaxy. Okay, where else? Oh, we got one. Got one right there. Is that all of them? Oh, 2 from the front. Okay. Nine-tooth sun, 3 planets, goes into 9 evenly, so even loading. And then 2 on the front. It's part of the reason the gearbox isn't loaded properly on the orbiter. But it was designed before we had custom steppers for, so cheap. Yep. See you tight, Jen. You got 4 more minutes till giveaway if you entered, though. Wow. 4 minutes plus 3 seconds. Okay, so that one is done. What else do we have? So that's heat sets there. We got a heat set in this piece. And then we have 2 heat sets in that piece. And 1 heat set in there. And I don't have the cable chain printed yet because I'm doing the umbilical version. So we will at least get heat sets done before. I would say yes, at least more properly designed, but clearly the orbiter is still a great extruder. It could just be better still, yeah. That's that one. And then one at the end of here. That was wrong. Why is that? Go. Hey Sam. Hey Viking. Steve's has a different foot. What do you mean? Lightweight aluminum version of G2 when? Want one for my VZ bot. Are there any more on this piece? That's the only one on that one. We have 2 on here. Planets have to be sized properly out as the ring gear of proper ratios. 2 orbiters and a G2E planetary is definitely the way to go. What do we got? 2 more minutes. We're at 271 likes, 355 people on a Tuesday. That's an awesome, awesome draw for a Tuesday. G2 has 72 teeth in the ring gear, 9 tooth on the sun. 9 goes into 72, evenly 8 times. Ratio calculation for planetary is ring divided by sun plus 1. And is that it? Yeah, okay. So heat sets are done. Three. So then we're gonna grab some 5x16 pin and different pins and I watch streams on days that end in Y. 1 minute. Well, it's time. It is filament giveaway time. The way this works is, hey Rylan, Mardi Gras with Steve, I had pancakes for supper. That sounds good. I haven't had pancakes in a very long time. The way this works is I close the entry form when we have not had a new entry in 3 seconds. Exactly 3 seconds every time without fail. So let me just clear out the old stuff. So Indy Roberts, I would make sure you have the proper length of PTFE. Yeah, that's important. You get 1 meter of filament and you get 1 meter and you get 1 meter. Exactly 3 seconds. So we are, let me see, where's my entry? So we have responses here. So when we haven't had a new one in 3 seconds, I will close it. Everybody who likes to make this a game, get in now. Who knows when I'm actually going to close it. So we'll go in 3. I'm excited to maintain my 62-year losing streak. We are on giveaway number 66. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got the wrong one. So here's what's going on. I set this up on my other computer. It's all set up. The correct link is there. Everything's good. We have all the responses in here. I was looking at last week's just now. So this is number 67. Yes. And that's what caught me as I was looking at 66. But now I have 67 up. Everything's good. we have 3 seconds in, and then we just got one. So 3, 2, let's see, midnight was 3 hours ago over here. Ooh, we get a second chance on 66. There'd probably be a lot of people that miss out. We just had like 8 new entries right there while we were chatting. So I got to start all over. So 3, oh, there's a new one. 3, 2, 1.5. Oh, there's one. 3, 2. Oh, there's one. 3, 3, 2, 1.5. Oh, there's another one. What do we got? Let me get my mouse over the close entries button. So 3, 2. Oh, there's one. 3. Oh, the number is 3, 2, 1. I got to end it right there, right? It's 321 responses. JA, thanks for becoming a member. And the 3, 2, 1. Done. Oh, there was one. You got 3 seconds. I closed it and I brought it back. We spoiled the 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh. Okay. There we are. Create a new one. JA, thanks for becoming a member. I know I already said that. John, welcome. This game is fun. I need to up my game. Who here missed out? Who here waited until the last second and missed out? I gotta hear. Lee McCready was the very first entry. Who got the last one in? Who spoiled the 3, 2, 1 number? Jeff. Control C and paste them here. Where are we at on the likes? Almost 300. I got to the point of telling my wife I'll get to it in a Steve builds 3 seconds. That's perfect. Okay. We need a number between 3 and 21 to shuffle this. Between 3 and 21. Oh, there's no tacos today. No guests, so no tacos. This is basically the order that they get entered in, that they're entered, and then we get to shuffle it. So what do we have here? I see 17. 17 is a weird number. Who would pick 17? Does that stand out for anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Has anybody actually picked 17? So we got 2. Who do we have? You'll have 2 minutes to say something in chat if your name is drawn. Who do we have? LDAV2. LDAV2, are you here? You have two minutes from now to say something in chat. We will catch it. I picked 17. But who from, like, hey, David, welcome. Here, let's get in the middle here and make sure that we don't see LDAV's thing and say, hi, David. I still bet that I'd see it. I'm pretty good at spotting. it. LDAV2, you have 1.5 minutes. And somebody here will see it. LDAV2. Who do we have? Come on. Don't be a new Polar Ted Club member. There you are. Awesome. Congratulations. You will get an email from me. They are here. Congratulations. Let me stop my timer. Let me paste this into the correct. There we are. And we have a good email address. Awesome. Congratulations, LDAV2. Like I said, you'll get an email from me. If you're in the US or Canada, you'll get a coupon set to the US or Canada Polymaker stores. If you are outside the US and Canada, you'll get a form that'll let you pick from a long list of filament roll options. This is exciting. Been watching for a long time. Actually won. Congrats. That's awesome. Okay, now I'm actually living. See you, Titan. Have a good one. Okay, let's finish the basic install or assembly of Galileo 2. So I don't have a bunch of parts here. And then we will call it. So we need to find a 16. Are these both the same length? Oh, I thought I stopped that time. Okay. 16 millimeter pin goes in here. There we go. And that's a nice, good friction fit. How are you doing, David? I hope you're going to be at Rocky Mountain. Is that true? I would hope so. Unpin. Thank you. Unpin and delete it from the description. Give me a moment to do that. I always forget. It is unpinned and deleted. Steve should never take the job as a countdown spokesperson for rocket launches. Hope you like the stream or else you're not. Oh. 299 likes now. That's awesome. Did you use an agent on the bed to get that print to stick so well that you had to blowtorch the whole thing? No. But I think that bed, that particular plate, because a little bit of it came off in a couple of spots. I think it's basically done. So anyway, bearing, and then that, and then a M3x8 goes in the side. So then we get one of these bearings here. Which bearing? Which bearing goes in here? Okay. Shouldn't there be 4 of these, Jared? Are you here? We're at 303 now. Awesome. What's the difference between Galileo 2 Z drive and Galileo 2 extruder? This piece right here is replaced with a GT2 pulley. Those are for the planets. There's also one for the idler. Where's the idler? These are for the carrier shaft. That's for this guy. Oh, there's more bearings in here. There's more bearings in here. Never mind. There's more. Okay. We've got 2 packages of these. Yep, they were with the stepper in the box. I was not expecting them to be different. In different packages for the same thing. So that guy goes on there, and then that will go in there with that. It was in a separate bag on your kit too. Okay, that goes in there, and that was a nice friction fit. And then make sure that spins freely. 1 set for gearbox, 1 set for G2E. Got it. And then an M3x8 socket head to hold this guy in. Now this is going to change. This one is going to change because we're going to put a toolhead PCB on here. But for right now, for this assembly, we're just going to put that in. I lost my bearings for a second. Yep. Then we're going to put one of these in the bottom. So this goes in here. That was a nice fit, not fall out, but wasn't hard to put in. G2 is not dual drive. Yep. That's the idler bearing. This guy goes in here and along the filament path, right? That goes the other way, but still. Fabrico has water bottles. I got that at Murph 2022 from Hector. An idea for Steve's stream, the Rocky Mountain testing hot sauces with peppers live. I won't be participating. The LDO bolts look nice. Can we buy just the bolts and parts from LDO too? I don't know. I don't think so. But a source for these nickel-plated hardware would be nice, because I'm slowly getting a collection of them, but having more would be good. Okay, so that goes in there, and then the collet goes in the top. I'm not using the collet version. I did the smaller hole for just PTFE through here. So what changes for Toolhead board? Just a longer screw here. It might not even need to be a longer screw, but it might need to be a 10mm screw for there, I would guess. Okay, so I don't need this because, and there's a note here. If you're using the press fit front body, you can skip this step. Hector stoutly refuses to put merch on his site. He just gives it away at shows. And then we're gonna put the planetaries together. So grab our injection molded. Where is, here we are. I mean, I got to use the 3 that came together in a bag. If they came together in a bag, those are the 3 that have to be the planetary bearings. I can't split them up. There we go. That's a nice fit. I needed a longer screw, so a 10mm would be correct. Button head in 3x10 using a socket head is a bit too strong for PCBs. You're not tighten. I mean, it's as strong as how much you're going to tighten it. A button head isn't a bad idea, though. Make sure those are all on and flush. Dustin, welcome. Thank you for being becoming a Charlie's Angels member. Why would someone choose this extruder over a Sherpa or Orbiter? The Sherpa is not a geared or a planetary geared extruder, so not quite the same comparison. This over an Orbiter, this is slightly more correct, or it is correct. So there's a slight advantage in alignment of the gears. Ooh, it came with shims, Jared. I didn't have to print one. Anyway, we'll get there. No run-in with injection. OCD much? Exactly. It's not OCD. It's not OCD, it's OCP. It's OCP. Obsessive compulsive personality. Disorder sounds bad. Okay, so those guys just go on there. And those don't, it's not a friction fit or anything, so those will fall right off. So I did get a nice Fabrico shirt at IRF. I'd pay for a water bottle. Yeah. Okay, carry on my wayward son. Ensure the aluminum planetary carrier is clean and free from dust or other particles. Install the 3 gears. Bearings should slide easily onto the carrier. You know what really grinds my gears? Should we put this on the stepper first, Jared? I think the difference here is we want to take the stepper and put this guy on here first. And that is a fairly tight fit to the thing. Is that correct? This is a tweak that's going to go to the manual for the injection molded gears. So it was made from MGF nylon, subject to print part tolerance, but this is not. Put a ring on it and don't forget the lube. I'm just gonna grab more of this stuff from Cruista Bearings. Is pretty good for this, I think. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate that. I'm gonna just get a little bit Just kind of distribute it around without putting too much on here. It will work in to be. Not with the injection parts. What? You plan on going to Murph this year? I am. Oh, do you have to, that was an answer to, do you have to run it in with a drill first? Yeah, not with these. And I didn't have to with my MJF ones. They were all pretty good. I am planning another round of going to all the things if I can get away with it. I went to many of the things, basically all the things last year. I'm planning on doing that again. Okay, grab a paper towel. Don't want it up around the top side of this. I'm just going to put a bit on these. And a little bit on the face here too, because that's going to slide along this back. Yeah, I can just kind of wipe that across the top. Is going to distribute it across those teeth. I'm going to Rocky Mountain this year. I just need to decide if I'm going to fly or drive. Miss Earth, same weekend as my charity bike ride. That is sad, Sean. Bill, if you drive, you can caravan with us. Okay, so then this goes on, and this has to be on. It doesn't go on now? I would think so. I think we can put this on now. So this is going to just kind of wiggle into place. You don't want to press it. It should, yep, it should just drop in like that. Ooh. I don't actually want to do that until it's on, so it squeezes into the right spots. There we go. Process for the carrier shaft differs now as well. Proper process is to add the shim and hard seat the carriage to the bearing. Oh, okay. Well, fine. So there is a shim here. So this goes on here first, right? Itty bitty, really thin shim. And what this is going to do is, here, this step here is putting this bearing in place and holding it in with these M3x6 flatheads. And then the shim is going to make sure that the carriage doesn't rub on the heads of these, flathead screws. So. Show another one of these guys. Nope, the big one. Got the bigger one. Very pleased with the print quality on those. The fit of the bearings has been great. And then you do not tighten these a lot. It should just bottom out and be nearly flush, but that's what that shim is for. And really, you should get these all to where they're touching and then tighten them to the rest of the way. Fit tolerances were a major thing, so no two printers are the same, yeah. Okay. Just before stripping them. So now there is a shim we can go ahead and, oops. Well, there's no reason why I can't do that, right? I don't think there's any reason why I can't do that. Get this guy on here. This will go in here. And then what direction do I want this? This is going to go on here like this. And I want the... Yeah, I want it to go around, I think. So this is going to go on here. Just like that. Might not be a bad step for the manual, honestly. Yeah. You put it on there and then pull the carrier off and they stay there. That was really easy. Okay, so that is in there. That can see it right there. That shim goes in. Then the manual says to do this. Now remember, this is going to tweak for the injection molded parts. These are all MJF instructions. So then this piece goes on, then an M3x30s to hold that together. Okay. So that goes on there, and then the M3x30s. Yep. Extruder police? Who's the extruder police? Hey, Bob. Picture in the guide looked like an alternator. It does, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to kind of try to make sure that these are, the printed parts are kind of lined up. Maybe I can do that by pushing, because that'll make sure that this is lined up. Push that down. No. That pin going through there would help as well. Wonder if that's not there yet. So now I can turn this, and it turns pretty easy. Okay, this guy goes on like that. And there's a grub screw in here somewhere. There's a grub screw in here somewhere. Oh, there they are. G2. It says one piece, but it comes with two. Nice. That pin was an excellent design. Put the pin in before you tighten the stepper screws fully. Yeah, I agree. I will. Okay, so I'm not tightening that. I'm just enough to where it doesn't fall off. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's loosen these. I was waiting for the shaft support and then the pivot pin. Okay. Shaft support. Shaft support gets the other bearing in there. There is Loctite pre-applied to the grub screws on many of the LDO kits. See? Loctite pre-applied. So, and then these are M3x8. So this is going to go on the end of that. There we go. And then two M3x8s. Hold that together. This is, I mean, there's so few parts here. It's kind of nice. This is a clever design by Jared here. And I'm not just saying that because he's in chat. I know, seeing the dev work behind the scenes, how much effort was put into getting to this design. The pin here is a pivot point. It goes between this bearing and a bearing that goes in there, and then everything gets sandwiched in here. See? And then this pivots inside there. So you can pull this away and feed or remove your filament, and it's sprung load with your regular thumb screw. Is there a place where better bearings would do any good? Yeah. Not a lot of rotation in any individual bearing at any given time. The stepper honestly needs the best bearings since it's a 9-to-1. What about this guy? Would there be any advantage to a better idler bearing there, since that one basically moves along with your filament all the time? Okay, let's put this guy in here. And then I'm just going to push it on my desk here to try to get it about centered. Now with that, forcing this thing to be in place, like Jared said, is a better time now to tighten these stepper screws. Hey, Hobo Banana. Right now we are building a Galileo 2 extruder that is going to go into my green V2 as part of its series of upgrades that is going to happen over the next several weeks. Still very little rotation speed, and if filament slips a bit past, it's not likely to cause any artifacting. Okay. That goes in there, that goes on there. And then this here. Oops, I keep hitting the wrong. Right in there. Did I? Yep, I sanded that. So now all of this is set. That slips into, there we go. And then I'm going to sight down the filament path to see if the gear is centered. So do you recommend G2 over CW2? I think you can be successful with both. No, that's the politically correct answer. G2 is, I mean, this is a nice extruder. I'm running it on my gray Trident. I'm running on my blue V2. No, I didn't, Jared. I was checking to see if the alignment was correct. And it appears to be. Now it's tightened. Okay, now that can go back in there, and then we can put this guy on. And get it lined up on that bearing. That's a tight fit. A really tight fit. Let's do, might regret it, but there we go. Then this can go on top of there. G2ZXL. That's the one. I'm looking forward to that one. Okay. And then 2 M3 by 20s. I'm looking forward to that one because honestly, G2Z on too big of a printer just sags too much. Okay, now those guys go in here. I printed the, oh, I must have not have brought it over here. I printed the wire cover as well. Okay. And that is basically Galileo 2. Now, there's a wire cover that'll go on here, and then an umbilical mount. So if we go to the Galileo 2 GitHub here, there is a user mods section here, and Heart K did a PG7 umbilical mount. So this is what I'm going to use, is this. So could probably stand on the gantry with XLs, really? Nice. I like that. Okay. With that, we're at 2.5 hours, which is kind of at the long end of what I want for a Tuesday stream. So we're gonna call it here. We've made some good progress. We did a lot of unbuilding. The printer is rather light right now. So we are missing the X gantry because it's getting replaced. Oh, I did forget one thing. We gotta put this guy up in here. There. Now it's complete. So and I did that before you guys mentioned it on stream. So okay. So with that, we will be back next Tuesday continuing work on this printer. We will do this in 2.5 inch or 2.5 hour increments until it's done. This Saturday is the Charlie's Angel stream, continuing the 240, the 3D Sets 240 build, and Sunday we start the Milo stream. That's assuming I can get the rest of the parts printed because I'm having a problem right now with that, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done, I hope. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the gifted memberships. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks, Polymaker, for donating the filament. And what else? We got LDO gave us the toolhead or the electronics for this, and Fabrico gave me the common anomaly stuff. And I think that's it. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the build, and we'll see you on Saturday, hopefully. Or if not, we'll see you Sunday. Bye.